The cardboard sign was wilting in the damp New York air, its black paint bleeding into soft curls of brown. A professor stood beneath the hard shine of a midtown tower, steel, glass, and money towering above her. Her name was Lorena Grundy. Her red t-shirt clung under a cracked leather jacket as she lifted her sign. "Tell billionaire Mark Rowan, hands off higher ed." Cars hissed through wet streets. Wind funneled between buildings. And as Lorena shifted her weight, she wondered if anyone inside those high floors could hear her. Or if that was the point, that decisions were being made far above the cold pavement where she stood. Here is the truth, she had come to voice aloud. Something enormous is changing inside American higher education, and almost no one, not students, not parents drowning in debt, not faculty afraid for their jobs, can see the full shape of it yet. But the billionaires can. And so can the White House. To understand how we got here, picture a different room, a warm sanctuary on Park Avenue, wooden pews gleaming under soft lights. Donald Trump has returned to the presidency, and Mark Rowan, a man whose fortune could fund entire colleges, stands on the bimmer telling a crowd what he believes is wrong with American universities. He says they are broken. He says their leaders are afraid, cowed by women, by people of colour, by queer students, by anyone who challenges old hierarchies. And then he says the line that will echo through boardrooms and Washington halls: "You do not need to change thousands of universities. You only need to change a few, the right ones, the powerful ones." What he does not say is that he is no longer just a donor. He is part of a new billionaire cohort shaping universities like political battlegrounds. They topple presidents, they draft policy, and Trump has given them something priceless: the machinery of the state. Which brings us back to Lorena, her sign trembling in the wind. Her students will feel the consequences first, not in speeches, but in debt that shapes their lives. In classrooms where certain subjects become dangerous. In campuses where political loyalty may soon matter as much as grades. If you have ever taken out a student loan, this story is about you. Soon, Trump officials began discussing something unprecedented: tying federal funding to ideological loyalty. And Rowan helped craft the blueprint. A proposal declaring academic freedom not absolute, one that demanded removing considerations like gender or sexual orientation from hiring and admissions, as if ignoring identity could ever undo centuries of exclusion. Then, one October morning, the White House sent its version to 9 universities, word for word echoing Rowan's document. Imagine opening that email, realizing your institution's funding now hinges on a billionaire's ideology. Most universities refused, but the message was clear. Billionaire-drafted policy had reached the Oval Office. Meanwhile, Rowan profited from the University of Phoenix, a for-profit college where many students, often working class and marginalized, ended up with debt they could not escape. He criticized universities for failing students, while benefiting from the same failure. This was not hypocrisy, it was strategy. And so the pressure campaigns grew, against faculty who spoke about occupation and apartheid, against students who challenged settler colonial violence, against diversity efforts meant to repair centuries of exclusion. Universities responded with fear, investigating student groups, issuing donor-pleasing statements, managing panic instead of governing. Because this story is not just about academia. It is about whether education remains a public right or becomes a luxury shaped by the anxieties of the ultra-wealthy. Back on the sidewalk, Lorena lowered her sign, flexed her aching fingers. She thought of the student working nights at a pharmacy, the Palestinian student targeted online, the Jewish student wanting safety that does not require harming someone else. These students do not have lobbyists or private dinners in the White House. They have only their voices, trembling, but real. Somewhere across the city, a student scrolled through headlines and stopped on a video. Maybe this one. They clicked. A voice began to speak, and for a moment, the illusion cracked. The students saw a struggle unfolding far above their head, shaping tuition, safety, freedom. They kept listening. And when the video ended, one question remained. Heavy, quiet, unavoidable. The story of higher education in America is still being written. The question is no longer whether it will change. It is who will pick up the pen. Please like, share, and subscribe.